The best way to reduce your chance of falling based on the latest research. Hi, my name is Doug. I've been a physical therapist for 30 years, and I specialize in helping people with balance problems learn to walk again. There was a 2023 study that was sponsored by the National Institutes of Health that looked at the question of what are the best exercises to improve walking, reduce your chance of falling, and improve balance. The study looked at strengthening exercises, balance exercises, combinations of these, all sorts of popular and commonly done exercises that people might try with the thought of improving their balance. What the study found was that the ideal thing is to do a combination of both strength and balance exercises. That when you do these in combination, you're kind of hitting on all the major benefits of strength training and balance exercise, and that's the thing that really has the best overall chance of reducing your chance of falling, helping you maintain your walking long into your later years, and improving your walking. What the study did find was that strengthening alone can't improve your risk of falling. But what it does do is if you become unsteady, if something bumps into you and you start to lose your balance, how strong your leg muscles are is a factor in how well you can recover your balance. So it's really important to do strength training exercises. But the study also showed that if you only do strength training exercises, you probably still have the same risk of falling as someone who's sedentary. So what you want to do is combine that with balance challenging activities.
Then try to let
balance
go.
challenging activities like standing on
Or
one
top
leg,
or the back of a chair, and attaching onto a step. To do this activity, you'll need something sturdy to hold on.
Improve your balance and also improve your strength. They do that because by challenging your balance, it improves your proprioception, which is your awareness of where your legs are in space. It improves your coordination, and it actually makes you more fit when it comes to stepping over things or navigating uneven surfaces. So ideally, what you want to do if you want to really improve your balance and resist falls is to do a combination of balance challenging activities and strength exercises. Now I'm going to show you 6 exercises that you can do at home that will not only improve your strength, but also your balance. Okay, now we're going to do side stepping. So we're going to grab the chair and we're going to step to one side and just take one big step to the right. Our other leg comes in, then our other leg to the left, and our right leg comes in. I've got a little bend in my knees as I'm doing this. Don't do it with your legs stiff. The goal is this. The goal is to do it without touching the chair. This is such a good exercise. It's a strength exercise because it works your hip abductor muscles. But the big thing is it teaches you how to take a protective step. If you're walking or standing and something bumps into you, you're going to need to take a protective step to stop yourself from falling. And someone that never practices walking sideways, and that's a lot of people, they lose that ability to quickly do that. And when you're in an emergency situation, if someone bumps into you and you can't take a protective step, you're going to go over. And that's true if you have, if you're just an older person, if you have Parkinson's disease, or if you've had a stroke. It makes it more likely that you're going to struggle with this. So if that describes you, you actually really should practice this exercise. You should practice sidestepping and backwards walking because those skills are needed to maintain your balance if anything disturbs it. And all of us experience from time to time things that disturb our balance and potentially can make us fall. So doing this is so important. Now you notice I'm picking my feet up. I'm not sliding them. I want to practice my weight shift partly, but also that's a way of challenging my balance more. So if you're sliding right now, try to pick up your feet. If you're really sliding, grab the chair to do it. Hopefully you've rested at any point with this exercise. You don't have to do it the full 2 minutes. We just have a couple more to do. Every time I'm stepping up, I'm really trying to put my foot down far away from my other foot. And that's the last one. So we're going to do tapping. You want to fold a towel or just have something in front of you like a piece of tape or some type of target. You're going to shift your weight and tap your foot on it and then shift your weight to the other side and tap. Now, it's important that it's a tap and not stepping on it. A lot of times when I have people do this, they want to step on the towel. It's much harder to tap, and that's what we're going for, is a balance challenge. You want to keep all your weight on the leg you're standing on, but you're moving your other foot forward and actually doing something, which is challenging. It really takes a lot of extra balance to be able to tap your foot rather than push down and put your body weight forward. So if you can, just make a little tap and go back and forth. Now I'm not holding on, but you can definitely hold on and do this in the beginning, but you want to get to the point where you can let go. You can even kind of hover your hand over the chair while you're doing it, but try to get to the point where you're not holding on at all and that you're tapping right to left. Now if you're tired, you're welcome to sit down and rest a little bit. There's no reason you can't rest a few times while you're doing this in 2 minutes. I'm going to keep going just to demonstrate it, but your pace can be a lot slower too. You can kind of go at this pace if you want. It doesn't have to be a fast pace. So when we're following me with these exercises, you can rest as much as you can, as much as you want to, and you don't have to keep the same pace I'm going at. For most people, it's probably too fast. So if you're feeling better about it or feeling confident in your balance, you can go faster. You know, I've had people even go at, kind of this pace when they're doing it. But for the most part, this is the right pace. Okay, we're getting close to the end here, in case you're wondering. And just a couple more repetitions. And last one. Next exercise is called a pillow squat. So you want to have a cushion like I have, or a pillow. If you're struggling with this exercise, I would use 2 pillows. So you're going to sit down, and ideally you want to cross your arms across your chest, bend forward as you stand up, come up standing up fully, and then sit back down again. Now, we're doing this for 2 minutes, and so for a lot of people, that's almost too much. You shouldn't probably do pillow squats solid for 2 minutes. But you could certainly do, 5 or 10 of these and rest for a little bit, and then try to do a few more. Just keep trying to do it the whole 2 minutes with as many rests as you need to take. Now, one thing to keep in mind is when you stand up, when a human stands up, they're not standing straight up. They're actually bending forward so they can almost see their toes and then coming up. I've watched a lot of older people struggle with that. They forget that they're supposed to bend forward, or they're afraid to because they're afraid they're going to fall forward. That's why having this chair here is so nice. If you're struggling with this, I recommend putting your hands on the chair to push up, and you're pushing kind of forward when you do that. Or you could even grab this chair because that'll help put your body in that better position. If you keep practicing standing up and sitting down correctly, even with helping yourself or with the cushion, that's how you get better at it. And the reason why we have the cushion is because I want you to do a lot of repetitions. I don't want you to hurt yourself when you sit down. The cushion really makes this exercise safer, but more effective. Because when you do more repetitions, even if it's less, it's less strenuous to stand up with the pillow, but doing it more often, that's really how you build strength. So we just have a couple more to go here. I hope you've been resting as much as you wanted to rest. And I think we just have one more. We can stop. And good. Okay, we're going to do single leg stands. We're going to grab the back of your chair, put all your weight on one leg, lift the other leg up off the ground, and then try to let go. Now, this is a great exercise for balance. In fact, I think it's probably the best balance challenge that anyone can do. I've always had all my clients do it because of how effective it is. And the reason is, for most people, the reason they're having trouble walking is they're not shifting their weight. If you have a fear of falling, if you have pain, if you have a problem with your balance, you're probably not shifting your weight enough. And one of the best ways to regain your balance is to kind of regain that ability to weight shift. So doing this exercise and making a goal of I'm going to do it for 20 seconds on one leg without touching, that's the ultimate. That's when your balance is pretty much normal. But what most people find is that they let go and they immediately fall down. They stand on one leg for a second and then they have to put their foot down. Why? Because they can't shift their weight. They don't feel comfortable putting their body weight over the leg they're standing on. Your hips should be centered over the foot that you're standing on. And if they're not,
what's going to happen is you're going to go back the other way. So if you find that's happening right now, I guarantee you it's because you're not shifting enough to the side. So you could reach your arm out, you can just force yourself to shift, you can even hold the chair a little bit and try to get that shift. But once you're in position, try to let go and hold it for as long as you can. If you want to stop and take a break, you can at any point. The reason these are all 2 minutes is because that's kind of the ideal amount of time to make some improvement in your balance and strength. We're just about done. We'll do it one more time on this leg, and I think that'll be our last one. See how long I can go. And stop. Now we're going to practice stepping over something. I'm going to use this rolled up towel. I'm going to put it in front of me, leaving room for my feet to go. I can grab onto the chair and I can step right leg and then left leg, and then right leg back and left leg. Then I can go left first and then left back. Now, the goal is to do this without holding on, but it's perfectly fine to hold on with one hand. You can do two hands. I'm holding my microphone cord, but you can grab the chair with both hands. So this is first and foremost a really good balance challenge. A lot of people that are having trouble with their balance, they wouldn't dream of stepping over something. So this gives you a safe way to practice it, because you do want that ability to step over things. Who knows what's in your way when you're walking? And even just stepping onto a curb or a stair, you need this ability. But so many people are really afraid of falling and afraid of doing this. So this gives you a chance to practice it with a chair in front. And because I'm using a towel, in case I miss and I end up stepping on the towel, it's not going to really cause me to fall. Now, if I'm trying to step over something taller like a book or a step, that's a little bit more dangerous, because then I could stumble on it and it could trip me up. I do have a chair behind me just in case I need to sit down. At any point, if you want to rest during this, you can. This is a kind of a cardiac exercise too, because I'm stepping forward and backward as I'm doing this. You do want to keep practicing shifting your weight as you bring your foot forward, but because you're lifting it, you kind of have no choice but to have a good weight shift. We're almost done with this exercise, just a couple more repetitions. Just about done here. And that's it. Hip abduction. To do hip abduction, you want to grab the back of the chair and you're just lifting your leg up to the side. Now there's another exercise called weight shift that looks a lot like this. With weight shift, you're really leaning to one side and the other. With this exercise, you want to stand nice and straight. And what you're doing is you're using your hip abductors to lift your leg up to the side. Now, this exercise, besides being a strength exercise, could also be a balance exercise, because what it does is it teaches you to shift your weight. A lot of people that are shuffling, they're not shifting their weight. If your feet aren't getting up off the ground, it's mainly because you're not shifting your weight enough. So this is a good way to practice it. The goal for this exercise is to do it without holding on. It definitely takes some balance to do that, because as your leg swings out to the side, it throws off your center of gravity just a little bit. So it's a good balance challenge. Now, most people are going to be holding on with both hands or one finger. It really doesn't matter. This exercise really fatigues your hip abductors. I almost don't think most people should do this for a full 2 minutes, because it could be a little bit too much. It can make your hips a bit sore. So at any point, you can stop, you can take a rest, you can sit down, but I'm going to try to keep doing it for the full 2 minutes. But really, if you do this every day, even for 20 or 30 repetitions, that would be enough to build up strength. So in 2 minutes, I'm probably going to get more than 30 repetitions on each leg. And again, if I want to make it more of a balance exercise, I'm going to let go. We're just about done with this. Just a few more here. And one or two more. Good. I hope you found this video helpful. Click the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. If you would like more help with your balance,
Look in the description for a link to a course I created that can help anyone improve their balance at home.